like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos by hitting that notification bell by subscribe button. As well, if you'd like to go to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, you can do so through our Cash App right there, $ BJ Matthews. $BJ Matthews, you know what I'm saying? Hit your donations, whatever y'all love the show, donate to the show, go and do that right there. Excuse me, getting off a little bit of a cold, so y'all have to excuse my voice for a little bit, have to bear with me. But we got a good episode for y'all today. We're back with LA Clipper Talk every Saturday. I know we started a little bit late today, but I had some stuff to take care of. You know, Christmas is coming tomorrow, so I had to do some last minute shopping. But we're back at it. We're back at it right now. We're here to talk about the Clippers. You know, the weekly recap of the games, as well as some of the things I want to talk about personally, the depth and the rotation of the team, and as well I can talk about what Joel Embiid said about Kawhi Leonard after last night game to the Sixers and the Clippers. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the recap of this games this past week. So if we look at the schedule, the Clippers have played. They went 2-1, right? They beat the Wizards last Saturday, which is pretty, a good win for them. They actually came back later in that game, but they were able to pull that game out 93-102. They played They had a 3-game rest to play against the Charlotte Hornets, where they won by 20 plus 105-126. And everybody for the first time actually played for that game. The whole roster was active since opening night, so that was good to see. And we saw the Clippers lose to the Sixers last night, 114-119, which I'm going to talk about in depth more because I got some stuff to talk to y'all about that specific game. Because the things I saw that concern me, and there's some good things I saw as well. But let me look at some of these comments. My man Little Rock, what's good with you? What's good with you, Little Rock? Appreciate you coming through. Hit that like button when y'all enter the chat room, you know what I'm saying? But let's get into it, man. The Clippers went 2-1. Like I said, they're 5th in the Western Conference at this point. And this is the little stretch they got going after after the last 3 games this past week. They got a 4-game road trip left. They got the Pistons on Monday and a back-to-back, then the Raptors on Tuesday. Then the Celtics, a big matchup against Tatum and Brown, a rematch. The two-way duos, and then you got the Pacers finishing off that road trip. Now, I don't know which game Kawhi, and I don't know if PG's still a minutes restriction or back-to-back restriction or whatever, but which game they're gonna play in. If it was me, I would play them against the Raptors, sit them out against the Pistons tomorrow or on Monday. Let Paul George play Monday, and then let Kawhi, play against the Raptors. That's his former team. And plus, the Raptors are a better team than the Pistons, right? My man David R. was good with you, man. Hit that like button for your boy. And also get ready for the Celtics game on Thursday. That's going to be a great game to watch as well. So, like I said, a lot of good games coming up this week. But if I got something to say about this, man, let me say this very, distinctively. I'm a Clippers supporter. You guys know I love the Clippers. I love my team. Y'all know Kawhi is my favorite player. I love Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Visca Zubac, the whole gang. I love everybody. Norman Powell, John Wall. But we got to be, honest about certain things that goes on. We got to be honest about certain things that, we might not want to, talk about to make the certain team is afloat. There's no one bigger than the team. No one individual player or coach bigger than the team, right? I was watching the game last night, and I missed some of the first half, but I caught most of the second half. I saw the Clippers were up at one point, 55-38. They were up by 20 points last night, and I watched the game pretty much what had to be said. What's the word, BJ? What's good, Kiss? BJ give James Brown his flowers tonight. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna talk to y'all about the game. I'm gonna dissect it very clearly. So I'm watching the game. The Clippers are up 55-38 last night, and I'm like, okay, the Clippers got this game, under wraps. They're gonna win this game. I thought Kawhi Leonard was absolutely magnificent. As a matter of fact, we're gonna play some highlights real quick. It's gonna be about a minute and a half of highlights with Kawhi Leonard. I'm gonna get back to the game. So let's see what Kawhi did last night.
This is Coach Karan Godwin, and these are the Ball Hog Gloves training products. We have everything you need, from ball handling gloves, bump pads, shooting eggs, and cones. Go to ballhawkgloves.com. God first, work until.
Figure after he's into a rhythm, it's a little late then.
And that was another thing that was emphasized during the shoot-around this morning, Olive. Joel in that elbow spot. Leonard with the answer for the LA Clippers.
Ideally, practices are always harder than games, right? You come into the games and you can almost breathe a sigh of relief because you've seen things over and over again. Morris.
Career high percentage coming from mid-range this season for Harden. Close to 50%. Kawhi, we know he likes to work in the mid-range as well.
Good defense, staying on the floor.
Senior, yeah. Like to see that from James. When he focuses on the defensive end, he can be a really good defender.
Absolutely, just keep it simple. Wow.
Speaking of keeping it simple, yeah. Can start
Yeah, exactly. We trade after that.
8 for Joel. PJ guarding Kawhi.
Money.
Yep. 8 now for Kawhi.
The shot clock situation, too, it was all up on Joel, not giving him any space to shoot it.
Kawhi. Dishy. Foul. Corner 3 is good. Here's Leonard. Did work in the mid-range in the first quarter. And another make 10 now for Kawhi. He's 5 of 6 from the floor tonight. The rest of the team, though, leaving something to be desired when it comes to shooting. That ends a 9-0 Clippers run. Paul George, quick catch-and-shoot triple. Doesn't hit any part of the rim.
They went to James instead, who drilled the 3.
Just the 4th made 3 by the Sixers in the first half, and Kawhi Leonard with the answer for LA.
Those are good looks, though. I'm not worried about that. It's this end. Right now, we've got to start allowing our presence to be felt.
Kawhi over Joel. Kawhi 7 of 9 tonight. He's got 15. Kawhi with 15. Paul George with 17. Shot clock at 4. Leonard with Embiid on him. Kawhi. Turn up the heat a little bit here in this third quarter.
Some down screens for Kawhi to get him open.
Leonard.
All right, so that's about 2.5 minutes of highlights of Kawhi Leonard last night. He had 28 points, as you guys can see. Make sure I hit that like button for your boy. He had 28 points and went 12 for 19 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Just an absolutely magnificent basketball game for Kawhi Leonard. Now, if you guys look, he doesn't like to really shoot a whole bunch of shots. Kawhi Leonard's not a high-volume shooter, but he's always been very efficient. So for him to have 28 points and 19 shots shows that his efficiency is very, very high. He takes smart shots. He doesn't force anything. He doesn't make a lot of turnovers. His three-point shot is not looking how it should look. I think he made a couple threes yesterday, but most of his damage was done in the mid-range and the mid-post, getting to the basket, things of that nature, right? So that's what Kawhi is. He played magnificent. He did his part, right, coming off, the ACL injury. He's been looking like Kawhi of old the last couple of games, which I wasn't concerned with. I knew Kawhi was going to get back to his rhythm because that's what he is. I've seen him do it so many times, bro. I have no loss of trust in Kawhi Leonard. That's not the issue. Marcus Morris and Paul George played well. The first half, he was great. I think he had 23 points. The second half, he did not do as much damage, which is fine. Because you have the second half for Kawhi, the first half is Paul George usually. Norman Powell did well. He was on the bench. He had 23 points as well. So 2 or 3 guys really came up to play. But guys like Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, who I'm going to talk about in depth in a little bit, did not come out to play how they're supposed to, right? So y'all keep telling me these people that was supporting Reggie Jackson all this time was saying that Reggie Jackson is a player that, we should, give the opportunity to let him start. But all I keep seeing from Reggie Jackson is a lot of high miss and low production. Last night he played 25 minutes and he only had 4 points to show for it. Reggie Jackson's on this team to score and shoot. That's what he's on this team for. If he's not doing anything else, then he's a detriment to this team. Right? He's not a point guard. He's not a starting point guard. Never has been a starting point guard. But I keep hearing some of these people who support Reggie Jackson so much trying to convince me that he's the guy who should be starting for this team. He's the guy that should, be getting the minutes over John Wall, but I'm not seeing it. We're 30 games into the season, so right at this point, we should have a good idea of what's going on. Like I said, I think Reggie Jackson got a lot of love out of that 2021 playoffs when Kawhi went down with that injury, and he helped lead the charge with Paul George. Right, and I think that's how Reggie Jackson came onto the team and got the love he got. I think last season with Kawhi and PG out and, you know, multiple injuries and stuff like that, rotations with the team, him and Marcus Morris were carrying the fort. So Reggie's been a great asset to our team. Not to say he hasn't. I'm very appreciative of Reggie Jackson, what he's done. But now that we have our full squad back, we have our full team back, he can slide back into the role he was meant to be, which is a backup point guard. Right? He's not a starting point guard. He never has been. He was a starter in Detroit for 4 seasons, and they did not have any success in Detroit to the point where Reggie Jackson was looking to retire from the NBA. He's a backup point guard. That's what he is, and that's fine in the NBA. He's still one of the top, you know, few hundred people that play the game of basketball today in the world. So that's something not to scoff over. But like I said, Ty Lue keeps on playing Reggie Jackson as if if you see. One thing I used to appreciate about Ty Lue is this. If you're not playing well, you're going to sit down. He has no problem sitting down his players. I've seen him sit down Kawhi. I've seen him sit down Paul George. I've seen him sit down Marcus Morris. I've seen him sit down everybody who's not playing how they're supposed to play. But for some reason, when it comes to Reggie Jackson, he doesn't have that same smoke. Right? Tyronn Lue is the reason why we lost that game last night. And I'm not saying that to, you know, be like a person that's pouting or whatever. But when I looked at that game and I saw the Clippers were up 55-38, I'm like, okay, this is how the Clippers should be playing. But when I saw the rotations that he had, not leaving in Norman Powell for the fourth quarter, who was the only player on the court next to Kawhi really doing damage in the second half, not leaving him in the fourth quarter, because that's what Norman Powell is. He's a finisher. He's a person you got to let him play in the fourth. Leaving Reggie Jackson in for entirely too long because when he's not scoring the ball, he's a detriment on defense. So he's just in there taking up minutes and taking up somebody else's minutes. Now John Wall didn't play, so you couldn't give it to nobody else, so maybe that's the reason why he kept him in. But even still, there were so many mistakes that Tyronn Lue made that I'm just looking at the game. I'm like, bro, like it's like he almost is overwhelmed with the amount of depth that we have. This guy right here, Robert Covington, I don't know what's going on, why they're not playing this dude, but I look at this these minutes. This is Robert Covington's stat sheet over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. So he has had what, 5 games of 0 minutes with an extra 2 games of less than 10 minutes. And the only games he got real minutes in is when there were blowouts or Kawhi wasn't playing. You signed this dude last year. You brought him onto the team to be somewhat of a 3D guy, somebody can knock down 3-point shots as well as help on defense. Last night would have been a perfect game for Robert Covington because Joel Embiid was just destroying us. Right? He was destroying everybody on the court. And that's not a knock because Embiid, to me, I think is the best big man in the NBA. So he's gonna get what he needs to get. But at the end of the day, we got so many different lineup changes we can make. There shouldn't be no excuse why we can't make adjustments. Right? I don't know what's going on with Robert Covington. I don't know why they're not playing him. I don't know why they're not putting him out there on the court, but he would have been a perfect match to have him against, you know, Joel Embiid. Because what does Robert Covington do? He's a very great help side defender. A lot of those passes are going over, Paul George's head or Kawhi Leonard's head. Robert Covington will be right there behind to pick those passes off. Right? I don't know why he wasn't playing Terrence Mann. He played him for 12 minutes and then he stopped playing him. Terrence Mann should have been a player on James Harden. Now I'm going to get to James Harden. Actually, I'm going to get to them right now. Joel Embiid had 44 points last night, 18 of 30 from the field, 77 from the field free throw line. It's like every time he touched the ball and it was on a pick and pop with James Harden, the ball was going in. Now, I've criticized Joel Embiid for shooting too many mid-range shots, but the shot was falling heavily last night. Shout out to Miss Trini, man. Thank you for that. Happy holidays, Mrs. Davis. I hope you guys are doing well. Cass said Ty Lue went away from what was working alongside PG, really not becoming aggressive in the second half. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. But you know what? I'm not really too concerned about that because I saw we were good in the second half, so we didn't really need PG to go off and just do what he did because we were good. What lost us that game was the rotations that Ty Lue had on the court, as well as us not closing out on 3-point shooters. Guys like DeAnthony Milton and Tobias Harris and Georges Niang, guys like that hitting 3-point shots. Shake Milton getting to the basket. That was what lost us that game, right? So I was so upset at the game last night. I turned it off. Yeah, we have to be able to close out on 3-point shooters no matter what. We can't allow opportunities like that for 3-point shots just to go up and not nobody contest. How should I play the fourth quarter up to the 2 minutes? Yeah, this was the biggest mistake they made. Because the fact is, again, and I'm gonna let Bruce in too, because he's the one that advocated for Reggie Jackson. I'm trying to see when is Reggie Jackson gonna come and make this turn that y'all's trying to hype this man up to be. I'm just waiting for that. But again, Joel Embiid was on a mission last night, and he's made his imprint on the MVP case yet again. We'll see if he actually gets it this time. It'll be a third season in a row. But he had 44 points, man, and he's been the player of the month this month, in my opinion. The Sixers right now, I think, are 19-12. Right now, they're 19-12. I'm not sure what place they're in, but they are, a winning team. And I gotta give this dude credit, man. I think Joel Embiid, the reason why he was getting so many open shots because of James Harden. Right? So let me give James Harden his respect right now. Listen, for those who was not on the podcast last year, they don't know like how I felt about James Harden. I ripped him from that performance he had in Game 6 against the Miami Heat in the conference semifinals. I completely ripped him because he deserved it, and I've seen it happen too many times when James Harden does not come to the party when it's time to come. You understand what I'm saying? So he deserved to be ripped the way he got ripped, and he's been revolutionized himself from the start of the season up until now. Watching the game last night, I saw James Harden making great reads. He had 21 points, or he had 20 points and 21 assists. I think that's the highest in 76er history. So he's controlling the game. He had 11 rebounds as well, a triple-double. He was controlling the game. He was making timely good passes, not turning the ball over, hitting his 3-point shots, setting up a Joel Embiid and his other teammates. So he looked very comfortable out there, and that's why I said no one was able to really rush him, because, especially on Joel Embiid pick and pop, because what happened was you had Zubac guarding Joel Embiid. So Zubac has to take a step back in the second line of defense to try to make sure Joel Embiid doesn't get to the basket. So all Joel Embiid was doing was catching the ball from James Harden and just pull up on that mid-range shot. That's essentially what was happening. That's why I say you need to go small against a team like the Sixers. You can't be big, because that's going to expose Joel Embiid. Right? So Bruce, what you think about the Sixers now? Yeah. Salute to my host, man. That's my co-host, Rick Masters, and my guy. Right? I did say that John Wall should start months ago. James Harden's not doing anything new. He needs to do that in the playoffs. I saw everyone riding your helmet for your top point guards of all time. You know what? What happened was they tried to get me to conform, bro, but it was like 4 against 1, so I'm cool with it. But at the end of the day, it's like you're not gonna just try to change my point. I think Jason Kidd's a better point guard than Chris Paul. I mean, it's not my fault those guys did not watch Jason Kidd how they should have watched him. But I'm gonna let y'all handle that, what y'all want to say about that. But back to what I was saying. Joel Embiid destroyed us, and James Harden was partially responsible for that. You gotta give him his flowers for that. You gotta give him his respect. And the Sixers right now are looking like a good team. They look like a very, very tight-knit team. And it's because of their 2 best players showing up how they're supposed to show up. Tyrese Maxey didn't even play last night. Right? So that's why I say. So Bruce said Jason Kidd way better than. Yeah, thank you. I said Jason Kidd's better than Chris Paul too, but I guess casuals don't see that. But let me also talk about this last thing. I'll let people in. Make sure y'all keep in that like button. There's a comment that Joel Embiid just made after last night's post-game game against the Sixers and Clippers. Joel Embiid had this to say about Kawhi Leonard. Okay, y'all can see right there in the picture. It says he turns into freaking Michael Jordan. Joel Embiid on Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. Okay, y'all can see the picture again. It says he turns into freaking Michael Jordan. Now, this isn't for somebody like me. I've been echoing this for, a few years now. And people call me out on cap thinking that I'm just, saying Kawhi is this, that, and the other. But you guys got to understand, yes, Kawhi is my favorite player, but I'm also logical when it comes to stuff like this. I respect the game first. The game comes before anything else. My favorite player, my favorite team, the game, I respect the game. I respect players' games first. So if I say something like what Joel Embiid just said, understand it's coming from a place of what I feel is real and what I feel is true about this situation. Y'all see it says he turns into freaking Michael Jordan. Now, people may not recall, but in 2019, the Raptors, which Kawhi Leonard was on the team that Kawhi Leonard was on, beat the Sixers that had Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Jimmy Butler. That game went to 7 games, and the last shot, what came off Kawhi Leonard's triple bounce around the rim, and he had one of the most magnificent playoff runs of all time in 2019. Right? So Joel Embiid was on the other end of that. So if he says that this man turns into Michael Jordan in the playoffs, you might want to believe what he's telling y'all. This is why I say I feel like I will go into any playoff series. I'm very comfortable with Kawhi Leonard being my guy. And the way he's playing right now, he's getting right back into rhythm. I saw him last night hitting timely shots, getting to his spots, getting less and less rusty. Like, it's only a matter of time. We're in December right now, so I'll give it about another month when we start seeing, like, more and more of Kawhi of old. But I just said to myself again, why would I not pick him as my top guy in the playoffs? There's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? So let me go and let y'all into the chat, man. What y'all got to say about the Clippers so far? They are 5th in the Western Conference, 19 and I think 15. And what y'all got to say about this rotations? Who do y'all think should be starting off the bench? As well as, do y'all agree with what Kawhi Leonard said, or Joel Embiid said about Kawhi Leonard? I'm going to let y'all hear what y'all got to say, man. I'm going to drop this link. Ms. Davis said that's not this. That's him giving them. Yeah, it's giving him his props. Right? People got to learn to give people respect, man. And if this guy's playing against him on a time and time basis, you might want to actually take heed what he's saying. So let me just open up chat so y'all can hear what y'all want to say. Locked On Defense says if Kawhi stayed healthy in his career, I think he's top 5 of all time. See, his game, yes, because he doesn't have any weaknesses. Again, I ask the panel, I ask people this all the time. What is Kawhi Leonard's weaknesses on the court? That's the one question I asked all the time. What is his weaknesses on the court? And most time people won't even be able to give me an answer. So that just goes to show you how special he is. But the problem is that the accolades won't match up. The accolades, because he hasn't played the tenure and missed so many games, is why some people, will scoff Kawhi to the side. But his game, what he brings to the table, I mean, dude, there's a reason why Joel Embiid said that he's Michael Jordan in the playoffs. So I'll let y'all decide that. What's good, Bruce?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Getting over this cold.
It's cold in Cali?
No, I'm getting over this cold.
Oh, this cold. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, it's cold over here. It's like 30. So
That's why I hear.
yes, and electricity company gonna be happy with me with that bill.
Yeah.
About Kawhi, is Kawhi like Jordan?
There's everything. The Clippers, how they're playing this week, and the rotations, and then Joel Embiid about Kawhi.
I think the Clippers are giving games away, and I think they know they're good, and they get lackadaisical. They get lazy. They're like, oh, we got this. We can dominate this team, and other teams play serious, and I think Clippers don't play serious enough. And I kind of agree with some of what you said about Tyloo, but I think the players have to play. And I did say that like 2 months ago, I think, probably 2 or 3 months ago. I said that John Wall should start, but John Wall doesn't play every game. So, and I think, like I said, I think it's Reggie Jackson. He doesn't want to hurt Reggie Jackson's feelings. I think he's the kind of player that, if he's not there mentally, he's not going to perform. That's what I believe. And Kawhi in Toronto kind of reminded me like Jordan, but I haven't seen it since then.
So, first thing, okay, so you said John Wall should be starting.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Why do you feel like Reggie Jackson will be checked out if he goes to the bench?
Some people are like that in everything in life. Some people you have to stroke their ego all the time, or they're not going to be themselves. And I think Reggie Jackson is like that. And that's why he was struggling at the end in Detroit, because people were tired of him. We're not tolerating his inconsistency. And when he got into the Clippers, he got Paul George. You have a friend, he's comfortable, and people stroking his ego. That's why you see him perform better. I think if he goes to the bench, he's gonna feel like it's a demotion. They're saying that he's trash or whatever. I think John Wall is tougher mentally than him, and John Wall can take it.
Okay, that's an interesting take. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think that we gotta look at this as results based, and maybe you're right. Maybe you do have a point, but I just think that he has an infatuation with Reggie, that he thinks of him as, he helped him out these last couple of seasons, and now it's our time to repay him back. That's why I think it generally is.
Maybe Tyler was a small guard. Reggie Jackson is a small guard. So he thinks, okay, I'm gonna look out for him. Something.
Because my thing is he's actually hurting us more than helping us. So it's like you will be helping us doing more service off the bench, and you will be able to do what you want to do and be that scorer, that shooter that you want to do leading the second unit. That's why that was my mindset. I will, if I'm Ty Lue, I'm saying Reggie Johnson, look, you can get more opportunities in the second unit and you can run the show. So why would you, because you just look at the game, man. He's not what he is when he was, last year.
I think Clicker is gonna make a move. I think Reggie Jackson might get traded, and the other guy, I always forget his name.
Robert Covington.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get traded too for a big.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Okay. Now you said Kawhi, you ain't seen it since Toronto, so you didn't see this in 2021?
No, I didn't see it in 2021.
You didn't see it in the playoffs at all in that 2021.
He was the best player in the playoff until he got hurt, but I didn't see Jordan. But in Toronto, people had the fear when he was on the court. Being like Jordan, it's not only like fadeaway, mid range, whatever. You have to instill fear in the other player. The player sees like, oh my God, no, not this guy again. And you have to play mental. There's a mental game that you're playing too. And Kawhi in Toronto, I think he was doing that.
But what's the difference between that Kawhi and the Kawhi with the Clippers?
If the Kawhi in Toronto was there in the bubble, there's no way Denver comes back. Regardless of what.
I'm talking about 2021 when the playoffs, when he played the Mavericks and the Jazz. What was that? What was different from that Kawhi to the one in the Raptors?
What was different? I think it was more of a killer. It was more of a killer. It didn't need to be pushed. I think he had to be pushed against the Mavericks.
Okay. My thing with this is that when I watched him against the Mavs, this is what I saw. I saw him the first two games. He had I think 40 points in the second game, and then games 3 and 4, him and PG were dominating as well. Game 5, he had an off game, and then he came back in that game 6, and that game 6 to me, probably next to Giannis's game 6 against the Phoenix Suns, that was probably the best game of that whole playoffs because of what he did on both ends. I seen him basically go for 46, shooting. I think he had scoring 30 points per game off of 19 shots, off of 57% field goal percent shooting while playing defense on it. Like, bro, that's Michael Jordan right there. That's what Michael Jordan would do. To be able to be the best player on the offensive end and be the best player on the defensive end in big moments of the game, carrying your team down from 0-2 against the Mavericks, or everybody counted you out at, you to lift that team up the way he did, and then against the Utah Jazz, the next series, obviously he was on a tear to, put them out as well before he got hurt. So the only thing I could think of, if he's not the same player as Toronto, is that he didn't get a chance to finish the run. But I think he was on that mountain top, but he just didn't. He got hurt. I think that's the only difference. But I thought he was just as good with the Clippers than he was with the Raptors. He was just as good, just as efficient, just as great of a defensive player. I mean, I don't see the difference, honestly.
I think he was better defender in Toronto, but in the Clippers, a better three-point shooter. In 2021, he was a better three-point shooter. I didn't see that.
Why had to be pushed against the Bucks in 2019 down those? Yeah, he kind of did, because basically when Giannis went on, people were saying Giannis was going, win. They're gonna go to the finals. And I remember this interview with Phil Handy when he said that Nick Nurse, the coach of the Raptors, said we're gonna make some adjustments, and then Kawhi said, "I got my adjustments. I'm gonna guard Giannis." So that he needed that push. A person like Giannis to actually push him to win those 4 straight games.
No, the team had to be pushed, not Kawhi. Kawhi was still playing great against the Bucks, even there when they were down 0-2.
On the offensive end, he said defensive. I didn't say nothing about offense. He said, "I'm guarding Giannis," and that's when that wall came. That's when that wall came. That's why I'm saying that's when he had to be pushed. Like offensively, yes, he's gonna get what he wants, but the defensive end is what actually elevates him up. I just think that either Kawhi you take. I mean, that's Jordan, what he did against the Mavs. That was Jordan as you can get. I mean, Trinity Man said, "What do y'all think about Luke Kennard holding a PG role?" What you think about that, Bruce?
Luke Kennard as point guard will be a disaster.
I agree.
I mean, has he ever played point guard?
Nah, he's a shooter. But I think I would like if John Wall is implied like Terrence Mann to be our point guard.
Some of the best players in the NBA right now are point guards. Kennard cannot stand in front of them.
Nah, Luke Kennard is a sharpshooter. That's what he is.
I mean, Kennard cannot check Jamal Murray. That guy who said he's not worried about anybody, Ja Morant.
Oh hell no! No one can check Ja Morant. Not even the best defense can check Ja Morant. No sir. He said Kawhi was the entire 2019 playoffs with Toronto.
I mean, I've seen some game Kawhi Leonard and because of his fingers and long hands, I'm surprised he's not catching the balls. The way that he's defending now, it's like close to the way he was defending in the Spurs.
So, what do you see? So I asked you, what do you see about Kawhi right now? What are you seeing? He's gradually increasing his minutes. He's gradually having better performances. What do you see? What do you see now from Kawhi?
I think Kawhi is a silent killer. He's hearing all the noise. He's acting like he doesn't hear them, but he hears them. He's more motivated than to prove to people, hey, don't get it twisted. Okay, I think Kawhi is motivated. He wants to win that thing. He's just not saying anything. I don't know him personally, but I can see it. I can see you can tell when someone is motivated. The way is like, oh, I think all those players, they watch stuff. And I think Kawhi is tired of people saying he's injury prone, whatever is this. And I think he's ready. And I think he's talking more. Because he's talking more is because, he has those answers he gives to reporters. You can tell that he's tired of those people slandering his name, right? Every time they lose, they put a video, retire, this, whatever, the other. Come on.
Hey, I seen a interview, a post-game interview with him after one of the games, and it was like right after he came back for a second time off that ankle injury a few weeks ago. He was like, as soon as he got to the press conference, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to talk anything about, my injury. I'm not a doctor, and no one is a doctor in here. So he already put it out, like, stop asking about these injuries, stop acting like you know what's going on. Like, I think he's tired of talking about it too. And I think he's tired of hearing about it. So, yeah, bro, I already knew Kawhi was going to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah. I mean, I give the Clippers the edge now to come out of the West because of Kawhi. If he's not playing, I don't think Clippers have a chance. And I don't see any team beating them. The only team that I can see has a chance against the Clippers is Nuggets because of mental. If the Clippers are over the mental edge that the Nuggets may have on them, but I know it's not the same team. But I think Jokic is better this year than the bubble. So
you ain't picking the Warriors no more?
I never picked the Warriors. I said between the Warriors and the Clippers. And I don't think Warriors are injured. When I say Warriors are injured, I mean Curry is injured. No Curry, no Warriors.
So Bruce is off the Warriors.
No, I'm not off the Warriors. I'm said Curry's injured right now. So if he comes back, we'll
so do they make the playoffs, Bruce?
This team is bad, bro. Drummond is over, and it's still talking like he's good. Klay Thompson is over, still talking. I don't think he's the same player. Gives you one game every 10 one good game every 10 games.
Salute to Ashley, man. Dom, what's good, bro? I know you want to talk about the game. I gotta break it down with you.
Yeah, best player Embiid.
Nah, it was I seen a lot of positives on both, when it come to both teams. I think the way, that's not the hold on. Yo, y'all go ahead. Go ahead real quick. I gotta do something real quick. I'm sorry.
No.
Embiid called him.
What you want to say about Embiid and Harden, Bruce? Be logical about this, though.
I am logical.
Those two.
I haven't seen anything from Harden. Nothing's gonna change until he go past the conference finals, in the finals, game 1. So he can have triple doubles, 30 points, 30 assists. That doesn't impress me. Embiid has been doing that for years, and to me, Embiid should be in the top 5 for the MVP. I think he's over Tatum for MVP. I think it's gonna be between him and Jokic again. Man, it's between him and Jokic again. But the reason they may not give it to Embiid over Jokic is because Jokic has multiple games. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are not playing, and Denver is number 1 in the West.
Yeah, Denver is number 1, but they like 1 game ahead of the Sixers.
Okay. I mean, is Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. playing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I know they've been on and off throughout the season, but Sixers dealt with a lot of injuries too. I mean, at this point, I don't really value the MVP voters like that. I think that they need to get a panel of like Hall of Fame players. I think that the media shouldn't be determining who's most valuable and everything like that. I just don't think that. I don't look at the game the same way the media looks at the game. Like,
yeah, you're saying that because of Embiid. Embiid said that.
No. I said because of Embiid. I said because of where they're ranking Kobe at. I just don't. They look at the game in terms of numbers and I just don't. I tend to look at the game the way players look at the game. So I don't value their MVPs. That's why I think BJ was on Showtime. I forget what panel he was on. I think Player Choice or something like that. And he was saying like he takes into account accolades, but that's where I differ from BJ. I don't take into account accolades. I used to, but I don't know. I just don't respect the voters anymore. I don't know. I don't take into account accolades. I just go by my eye at this point.
I agree with you because a lot of numbers are lie. A lot of numbers lie. Our players may be scoring 5 points for like 10 games, and then one day they score like 60 points, and you're gonna say, "Oh, that's the average." You know, when you add all of them up and you average, you'll be like, "Oh, the person had a good season. Look at the average, whatever." And a lot of people, they look like on Player Choice, they just look at numbers or how long the players have been playing. And that's why they say Chris Paul over Jason Kidd. I'm sorry, if Jason Kidd was on some of the Clippers team with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, they go to the finals, man.
That's what I was trying to explain to a lot of them. They went with the notion that this is how I got a couple of them. They didn't say nothing. I don't know if people caught it. But Mars and Dub and Lowe were trying to convince me that Chris Paul's performances, that should excuse him from the losses. And then I went back and told him, okay, what about the game they lost to the Warriors in 2019 in Game 6 when they didn't have a Kevin Durant? Well, Steph Curry was at his peak. Chris Paul was 33 years old, so he was out of his prime. I said, by 1 year, okay, let's talk about the Clippers then. And then I said, how many times did Chris Paul make it to the conference finals and everybody was quiet? So,
if Chris Paul was on those Dallas Mavericks against Miami Heat, they lose.
Yeah, bro. Dude, Jason Kidd is a better leader than Chris Paul. You know how many people have said Chris Paul has destroyed the locker room, or look at what's going on with Phoenix. Like, Jason Kidd is the ultimate leader. He turned around that New Jersey Nets team 2 years in a row, and he didn't have no all-stars on that team. I think his second best player was who? Kenyon Martin, Kerry Kittles, Keith Van Horn, Tom. Like, come on, man.
Richard Jefferson.
Like, come on, bro. Like, this. But they say Chris Paul should be in the top 5 automatically. I'm like, no, he hasn't won a championship. Why should I put him over a guy, Jason Kidd, who showed me he can do more with less?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and it's interesting because those guys are players. No offense to them. I mean, no disrespect to them. They're good at what they do, but they tend to think that they're like like basically like the antithesis of the media. Well, really, they're the same thing as the media. They just analyze the game. They just look deeper into the numbers. So they pick apart the numbers more than the media, where the media might pick apart the numbers on a surface level, and then everything else is just entertainment. But with them, they just go deeper into the numbers. So they
Yeah,
they essentially they're just the same thing as the media. Whereas guys like
that's all they can go into because none from hoop. The only person I think hooped was Shaq.
yeah,
But
Shaq, except for Shaq. Shaq is a hooper, so he he looks at it differently. Or like a guy like you or a guy like Ticket, or even though I don't agree with everything that all of y'all say, or I'm pretty sure y'all don't agree with each other, y'all still look at the game a little bit different than the guys that never played, that just look at the numbers. Like I was just I don't know, that kind of was getting me pissed off hearing the dude Low talk, because he was talking down to you like this dude ain't never pick up a basketball in the day in his life, and he's sitting here talking down to you. And that's how most of those guys are. They arrogant. They think they know everything, and
no,
they
so
never
Low,
picked up a.
what happened with Low was he tried to get loud with me at the beginning, but he didn't know me, so that's why I think he thought I was a sucker. Then
All of those people are Google analysts.
Right, and then towards the end of the debate, that's when he started to change his tone up and say, "Oh, I understand now." Like, yeah, bro, because I'm disputing every point that you make. But what they try to do is get like 4 or 5 against 1. So it's all good, bro. It's not even. It wasn't even that serious.
Yeah, that's what they do to Ticket every time.
But
And Mars has Russell Westbrook over John Stockton.
That's why I didn't even answer that, bro. Like that just shows their basketball acumen. The only people I like Dub a lot.
Yeah, I like Ron and Dub.
Yeah, Ron and Dub are cool. I think Mars and Lowe they're too damn analytical for me, bro. They're too damn analytical. So
I mean, Westbrook over Stockton. What? Stockton was playing for Jerry Sloan, who wanted to control the point guard. The point guard was not allowed to score. You here to pass the ball to Karl Malone, to the other players. Stockton could score, man. Some people, man, oh my God. Stockton could score. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're good at what they do. I think, like, if I never played baseball or whatever like that, and somebody asks me who's the best baseball player, I'll do the same thing that they're doing. Like, I'll go to the stats and try to look up, or they ask me who's the best home run hitter, or I'll see who has the most home runs or whatever like that. I'll do that. So I'll probably won't really look at the context, or you know what I'm saying. Like I'll do that. I'll go straight to the stats and everything like that. So I don't blame them for doing that. I think they're good at what they do, but I just don't look at the game the way they look at it. But I mean, as far as the Clippers go, I mean, especially in that game, I've seen a lot of positives. I've seen Kawhi is getting back to that form. You know what I'm saying? Getting back to being that elite shot maker and I guess elite defender. And I don't know. I just see a lot of positives with that team. They got a lot of elite shot makers on that team, and it's going to be tough to deal with for anybody to get into a playoff series with them.
For sure.
Because they can hit at a high clip. Kawhi is efficient. Paul George can be efficient. They just got a good all-around team. Now, what you've seen versus the Sixers with when Embiid getting off, most centers ain't going to get off on Zubac. He's a big body. He's not like an elite defender, but he's a body.
For sure. My man Kess, what's good, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's good, BJ? What's up, y'all? I was agreeing with Bruce about everything he was saying about Reggie and all that, but I think to me, Kawhi is added to his game.
All right.
Definitely. I think he's his playmaking has got better, and low key his footwork has gotten better, especially in the post and on the perimeter. So I don't know. I think we're seeing I think his game has evolved a lot more, especially with, like I said, when Chauncey Billups in there was there on the personnel. You seen him and PG like is like they added more layers to their game, especially when PG was playing more of the point guard position, because that's what was opening up Reggie's game too. He could score off the ball and kind of get downhill a little bit. But yeah, for sure, Kawhi's game is like a little more broader than it was in Toronto and definitely in San Antonio.
So, what's your take on Ty Lue's rotations? Do you think that they need to switch, or what you think that they need to shake up the roster with?
Same damn thing we spoke about the last time. Just you see some of these guys playing that's actually like more impactful than Reggie and even sometimes Marcus Morris. And I don't have a problem with Marcus Morris like a lot of other people do. I think like his mid-range game to me is amazing. Like he hits shots sometimes, and I'm like, yo, PG, you can't do this. I'm like, and it looks like it comes easy to him. Reggie, on the other hand, I think is not as impactful as guys like Norman Powell, who I think he's got to get more time. Got to get more time on the court. But yeah, the rotation to me is still a problem. I think he's definitely coddling Reggie Jackson and his ego a lot, and it's costing us like stupid games, especially like last night. There's no reason why you up by 20 and then you end up having to fight back in the game when you pretty much got your foot on their neck. But they have that ability. They have that ability to let teams back into the game. Even that Charlotte game had me annoyed. I'm like, yo, I should have smacked them by like 45.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They gotta get into a mindset of just killing teams. I think Kawhi has it. Now the other players, the PGs, the Reggies, the Marcus Morrises, and all the guys gotta fall in line. That when you got a team down by 20 points, you can't allow for them to come back up and fight back, especially at their home crowd. That just can't happen. You got anything else, bro? I'm gonna go to the next person after.
No, I'm straight.
All right, Bubba, what you guys say? I know you're gonna talk about this, bro.
Yeah, I mean, games like this, it's hard for me to, support what team because I'm a fan of both teams. But when I saw the Clippers was up by 20 points, I was like, okay, the Clippers are going to take this one home. And they ended up blowing it, which Embiid had a phenomenal game. Harden did what he wants to do, 20 points, 20 assists. I mean, it was so good. But I feel like Ty Lue lost the game because, nobody can guard Embiid, but I feel like he could have did more with Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson playing as poorly as they did last night. I feel like he should have made an adjustment right there. That's when I was questioning his ability to make adjustments. Like, we give him credit for making adjustments, but sometimes he just waits too long to make an adjustment. I feel like he should have made an adjustment right there because the Clippers should have won that game because PG had a solid first half, but he didn't really come good in the second half. He was so inefficient. He shot like 36% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
And Kawhi was Kawhi. I mean, I haven't really seen anything new from Kawhi. Everything he's doing now, I've seen it before, but I feel like he's getting his groove on, trying to get back to the top level that he was playing at before he got hurt. So that should take him about at the end of the All-Star break to get back. But I feel like Ty Lue needs to be making some adjustments. He didn't play Robert Covington, and he should be playing a lot of minutes, and I don't know why he's not. I mean, I've heard rumors that they're about to trade him. I don't know how true that is, but I hope they don't trade him because he's a valuable piece of the Clippers, and especially in that small ball thing. So the loss was on Ty Lue, and he has to do a better job at making adjustments.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off the Rocco comment, like that was a perfect game for him to play because again, he would be a great help side defender on Embiid.
Facts.
And just they gotta be better IQ wise, man. Like there's certain players on the team that just not have a very high IQ. Gambling on passes, making turnovers, taking bad shots, like just a whole bunch of things that just kills our momentum when we don't have, the right players in. So Let me ask the panel this: what y'all feel about us losing Hardenstein? Do y'all think that hurt us a lot? Because we're looking for now, I think, a backup center. So, what do you think we should do about that situation? Anybody can answer.
That did hurt
Boogie.
us a lot. That definitely hurt us a lot. Because he's a legit 7-footer, and he played with high energy. He's a bigger version of most of them. But he has range as well. I started to see that towards the end of the season last year. And yeah, along with the range, he also makes the right pass. He's on the boards. He's altering shots and everything. So that was a big hit. The Moses Brown thing clearly isn't working. I had a little faith in him because he was a big body and he's real aggressive on the boards, but to me doesn't seem coordinated when he's out there. Like when he gets the ball down low, it seems like he doesn't know what to do and like loses his footing and might get a turnover. So I'm not. Yeah, that big man's position is still a problem. Bruce, who just said Boogie? I think I heard him just
Bruce.
say. Were you referring to Boogie Cousins?
Yeah, he said Boogie.
Yeah, yeah, I like Boogie. I think only thing is I'm scared to have him on the court when it comes to transition, whether it's offense or defense. But if you throw him the ball in the post, he's still gonna get a bucket, and he can stretch the floor. He's also one that could at times make the right pass, but I think because of the way the game is played now, like and you got those younger teams that get out there and once they get the ball, they just heading down the floor. Like it's kind of you're taking a risk with having them out there.
Yeah, if we got Boogie, I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, it's like I just think Ty Lue has to do a better job with the matchups and the rotations he has on the court. I think not having Rocco and not having Terrence Mann has hurt us in certain games.
Is John Wall injured?
No, he ain't even injured. They just not playing him certain games.
Cause I'm like under the impression last night. I'm like, all right, is there a back-to-back or something? Cause he ain't suit up, maybe playing, but they don't play again until Monday. So I'm like, so what's the problem?
Bro, I don't know. And that's the mystery. The Clippers don't talk. No one talks on that team. So you never know what is going on. Like you never know who's gonna play, what's going on with the updates. You're never gonna know because they don't say nothing.
Yeah. I have a love-hate situation with them. Like the fact that like the media is not all in their business, but at the same time it's like we as fans, like, bro, like what's going on? Like we want to see these guys out here. This is a team that we feel like could finally like hold that trophy up, but we just don't know.
Right. Yeah. Ms. Joanne said, hello, BJ. You said you don't need a backup center. I said if Zubac go down, who is not the step? It's not required we need a backup center, but because we're not going to have to deal with, and they're not Embiids all through the NBA. The only star center we have to really deal with is Jokic. You get to run through him. But even with him, he's not the type of player looking to score. So there's only one Joel Embiid. So what happened last night is not going to happen in the Western Conference. So that's why I say we don't really need another center. But if we were to get one, that's why I'm asking the panel, who would you go after? And that's why I brought up Hardenstein and Boogie and them.
If Ty Lue could somehow get this guy to actually like get his head back into playing and like utilizing his talent, I would say Whiteside. But it seems like he plays every year when his contract is about to expire. If he gets like a 4-year contract, those first 3 years, he's non-existent. That last year, he might put in work.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Jake Portal from the Spurs.
Jakob, yeah.
Jakob Portal.
Yeah, I like him. I remember at one point I seen something about them. They were trying to put something together for Mo Bamba, Wasn't against it. Another big. I don't know what Orlando's really. I mean, I don't see Orlando doing anything to like send him away now. I think they're another team that's like kind of give them a couple years of gelling. They'll be on the up and up. They'll be like another Toronto to me. But I'm not against a guy like Mo Bamba either. Mo Bamba, Jakob Poeltl. Realize we don't hear nothing about the Miles Turner thing anymore after Zubac. Zubac messed that up on us.
Yeah, man. I think we good. I think we straight. We just, again, we got to stop giving away these leads, man. We were about 20. Just let them come back in the game and took our foot off the gas, man. That we can't allow that to happen. She said, what about Steven Adams, the center from the Pelicans? They're not going to give him up to us, especially because we are a conference rival. Not giving them to us.
Nah, Valanciunas is not going nowhere. Steven Adams, it could work. It could work. It's just,
yeah,
he's one of those like old school blue collar bigs. He's not really one like I'm looking at centers today. It's not so much that I like a center that can shoot the three. It's about guarding the three. Because all these teams are shooting now. So when you're getting a switch on the perimeter, if that big can't guard the three, like we in for a long
night. Facts.
So I'm scared of bigs like that on our team. I mean, we got Zubac, and he's not the greatest perimeter defender, but it's what else he offers that kind of secures his position.
Let me ask y'all a question. Anybody can answer. Who is the Clippers' biggest threat out west? Because I know y'all heard Morant say what he said, that he ain't got no competition out west, but who the Clippers' biggest competition out west?
Probably have to be the Grizzlies.
You think it's Memphis?
Yeah. Because they're the only ones with a balanced team. Like, to me, a balanced team is guard play, wing play, and bigs. If you got all three, like the Sixers got all three, Bucks got all three. Those are balanced teams. Memphis, they got guard play. They don't really got a lot of wings like that, but they got guards and bigs.
Yeah. The Memphis is like a Chihuahua. Chihuahua have that box to
yeah, that's true.
You give them a kick and they stop whimpering. So John Morant talks a lot with he has a bum knee. Every once and then, when you touch the knee, he's always crying. So we'll see. I mean, he likes to talk a lot. I mean, you know what? He just did a big mistake. He's giving other teams motivations when they play Memphis in the West. So keep talking.
Yeah, he's not gonna stop talking until they lose a couple playoffs. It's kind of like Embiid. Like how Embiid used to, do all the trash talking, but once he lost a couple series, it kind of humbled him down.
Yeah,
he doesn't talk a lot. Embiid doesn't talk anymore.
Ja is worse. I know Embiid, yeah, he clowns a lot, but Ja is worse. He really believes in the stuff that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, like he's the ultimate.
He is worse, bro.
I think Memphis was better last year, in my opinion.
They were. And now everybody's gonna be hunting them this year.
I think a lot of injuries in the West this year, and players have getting worse. That's why Memphis is doing well. But I don't think Memphis is that good.
Yeah, y'all might end up in the Western Conference Finals with like the Nuggets or something.
Oh, Memphis in the no,
the Clippers. The Clippers. It might be. Didn't y'all face them in the Western Conference Finals before, or was that the semifinals?
That was the semifinals.
Yeah, it might be like a rematch of that this year. I think y'all might get y'all revenge on them.
Yeah, I want them. Either them or Memphis. I want them because the only team I don't.
Yo, your audio went out.
No, I said the Pelicans is the team that's going to be the toughest if we face them.
Yeah, they was writing that in the chat. Like, New
guard.
Orleans
They don't have a
definitely.
point guard.
You know what?
What about the other stuff, Bruce? Hey, Brent.
Pelicans has Clippers numbers, but they don't have a point guard.
Yeah, I still think they make up for that with the interior president and also with Brandon Ingram and their coaching. I think they make up for that.
Okay, but I don't think Pelicans have really played with the Clippers with Kawhi on the team.
That's gonna be the difference. That's the difference. David said Golden State, New Orleans, Memphis. What y'all think will happen to Golden State?
I think they're cooked.
Man, Golden State better not run into the Clippers. That'd be terrible. Golden State might not even win a game that series.
Draymond Green killed the team like he did in 2016. That's what happened. Okay.
So, Dom, you said they might not win a game.
Nah, because I feel bad for any team that is a perimeter-oriented team that have to go against the Sixers. I mean, not the Sixers, the Clippers, because I mean, I don't know. You need a big versus the Clippers. You need a big that can bang in the post. If you got to rely on your perimeter play, because they one of the best perimeter defensive teams. Especially when they lock in like that. You got Kawhi. You got they whole starting lineup can play good perimeter defense. So I don't think no perimeter oriented team can beat them.
I actually think if you have a big, you are susceptible to lose more to the Clippers if your team relies on a big. That's why I think Sixers beating the Clippers was a fluke. Clippers beat themselves last night.
But you gotta look at it. The Clippers were shooting at such a high clip. They couldn't even sustain that shooting. Usually, really, if they was to go in the series, it would be closer. It would be closer. It wouldn't be one team going up 20. The Clippers would shoot a little less percentage, and you know what I'm saying, throughout the game, and they would maintain it throughout the game. It wouldn't be they shoot a high percentage and then they drop off. No, it'd be kind of constant throughout the game. So it's not a fluke. The Sixers beating the Clippers. You're not going to just run over the Sixers.
It's a fluke because to win in the playoff, you need wings. Your team Sixers don't have wings.
Y'all want the stats yesterday of the Clippers and Sixers. So the Clippers, they shot the same pretty much as the Sixers. The Sixers shot 53%, Clippers shot 50%. The Sixers shot 41 from the 3, 36 from the 2 for the Clippers. And the Sixers shot 92% from the line and 78% from the free throw for the Clippers. So they beat them out in all three of those categories. As I'm watching the game, Embiid could not miss any of his mid-range shots. That's probably the most I've seen him just knock down every mid-range shot. He was just balling. Him and Harden were just shooting the ball. And then here comes Shake Milton. Here comes Deshaun Melton. Who comes George's? Here comes all these guys. Tobias Harris just knocking down threes. So it's I wish we would have won last night, but I would have to side with Bruce on that. I think we did beat ourselves.
And Embiid didn't even really have a great game like that. His game was good in terms of taking care of the ball. He didn't turn the ball over and stuff like that. But scoring wise, he mainly just got easy passes from Harden. He didn't really have to go in his bag and do all this crazy stuff. So that's an average game for him. He scored 10 points over his average. That's not.
Man, the only thing you have is Embiid. After that, everything check with the.
No, what you not understanding, Bruce? It's a complete team. They got wings. They got one of the best point guards in the. First of all, look, you got the most dominant center in the league. Then you got the best point guard in the league.
Sixers is a complete team.
Yes, you got the most. You got the best point. You got the best point guard in the league in James Harden.
James Harden is the best point guard in the NBA.
No, the best distributing point guard, the best distributor, not the best point guard. I got Steph Curry.
Passing the ball to Embiid, having a lot of assists. Oh yeah, okay.
Yo, he's gonna lead. He's gonna lead the league in assists. He's the best
of course,
distributor.
he's passing the ball to Embiid.
But that's the thing. So.
Oh my God! That doesn't mean you're a point guard. You're the best point guard.
No, he was always a good passer. Even when he was in Houston, he was a good passer.
In the playoff?
He made Clint Capella into like some type of almost an all-star.
And then what happened in the playoffs?
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Sixers, though. I'm talking about as
Okay.
James Harden has completely changed his game. He's not that
James
same
Harden
scorer.
was there last year. What happened?
I don't see
And this
that
is the
yet.
thing too. This is the thing too. The Sixers, they have defined roles, something they've never had since I've been watching them. When they're on the court, everyone knows where they should be. Everyone knows what they should be doing. There's no
who's
confusion.
the choker this year? Who's the choker for the Sixers this year?
Man, like I said, everybody has defined roles. You know, James Harden is the point guard, and Embiid is the big. He's
choker. James Harden, choker. Who else?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, at the end of the day.
But Dom, can I ask you a question? So, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm impressed with. I think the Sixers, what they've been able to do the last few weeks. I think coming out that slow start they had in the playoffs. Are you at all concerned about the history of Doc Rivers and the history of Joel Embiid and James Harden coming up short? Are you?
Well, I'm always gonna be concerned with it until they get it done. So until they get it done, then I won't be concerned with it. But you know, I'm concerned with it. I believe they can do it. Like when they playing at their potential, what they should be playing, I think that they can do it. But if they're gonna choke, you know, of course, obviously they're not gonna win.
What's the potential of Tobias Harris in the playoff?
Just being a fourth or third option.
Has he ever been?
He's got to be. He's going to be fourth now because Tyrese Maxey is pretty good, and I think he's the solidified third.
I mean, is Montrezl Harrell still on the team?
Yeah.
What? He's a roster space at this point.
No, he's not. No, Montrezl Harrell is an energy guy. He gets in depending on the matchup. So
energy guy. Now he's an energy guy. Wow.
So Montrezl Harrell right now is fighting with Paul Reed for minutes. So they're going back and forth between the two to see which one is going to get those backup minutes. So
he had more energy keeping the ball from Giannis practicing free throw. So.
Yeah, well, he just doing what he was brought on the team to do, which is be that dog. Because the Sixers didn't have that last year. They didn't have no dogs.
So far, he hasn't been a dog. He's not even a cat. So
you got I thought that's why y'all got PJ Tucker.
Oh yeah,
that was stupid.
Yeah, you hear? I keep catching all the stuff he's saying, but I thought PJ Tucker was brought in for that same thing, to be the enforcer of that team.
Yeah. PJ Tucker is modeling sneakers. That's what he's doing in the corner.
Hey, look what Big Fan said. He said Harden's not that guy. Stop it. That's not the key to me.
Nah, he saw it because Harden left the Nets. That's why he's saying that.
I'm reserving criticism on James Harden. I won't say anything until May.
Yo, but BJ, what did Kobe tell Harden when they asked Kobe? You know, was he impressed by the scoring and everything? Kobe said,
"He can't win."
You can't win like that. He has to change his game. And what did Harden do? Harden changed his game. He's the number. The people keep saying Harden is not that guy. He's not asked to be that guy no more. His role is the point guard and distributor now.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
Well,
he's always been that distributor to me. It's just
he was the primary scorer. He was the distributor on OKC when they went to the finals, but he wasn't.
And what happened?
They wasn't ready.
I still think he should have never left.
He's still not ready. He'll never be ready.
No, wait. On Houston, he was a distributor, and he had to score like 30 plus. But on the Sixers,
that's why they didn't win, and that's why Luka ain't gonna win.
Exactly.
And that's why Jokic ain't gonna win.
That's there you go, and that's what I'm about to say. Is Luka Doncic better than what James Harden was in Houston?
No.
Hell no.
That's what I said. Okay, so but a lot of people say yes. A lot of people, and that's what I got into them on the Players' Choice yesterday as well. The topic was Luka, can he be a top 10 player of all time? I'm like, who in the hell would think he's gonna be a top 10 player? What has he done to even be in that even type of category? But I said he's not even what James Harden was in Houston. He wasn't even a better player than him.
This is my opinion. I think Jokic's career is going to go how Steve Nash's career went, and I think Luka's career is going to go how Dirk Nowitzki's career went.
So he's gonna
So I
win a
think
championship.
So he's gonna win a
I
chip.
think Luka might eventually win a championship. I think he's gonna have a legendary season where he win a championship, but I don't think he's gonna be like this top 10 player of all time. I think you're gonna have to struggle to put him in there, but I think he's gonna have that one breakout season.
So is Harden gonna win a championship?
Hopefully, but he's not gonna win. Well, Harden definitely ain't gonna win a championship as the number one primary scorer on the team.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that's facts.
Okay, so you said hopefully. So you're saying that the Sixers are going to win a championship in the next couple of years.
I predict them to win a championship this year.
And I'm sorry to say to you guys, the Nets are better than the Sixers.
Okay, you can say that, and then
Bruce,
when they match
stop
up
it.
against them,
Okay, okay.
Stop
I
it.
think
We
the
beat
Nets
them.
are better than the Sixers right now.
We beat them without Embiid, Harden, Maxey.
No,
Okay.
that's not that doesn't tell me nothing. But that we beat them without Embiid, Harden, and Maxey. It just tells me
I mean,
that
that's the last time we played them. So
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't take that much from that game. My thing is this: when you got Ben Simmons on your team, you always gonna be dominant in the regular season.
Like Harden.
It's the
I
playoffs.
was about
It's
to say that. It's like I was just about to say that Ben Simmons and Harden have that same season effect. Harden might be a little better because he's had spurts in the playoffs where he's been unstoppable. But then
And then when I look at the Nets, they're not a complete team. They don't have no big. Like when people keep saying Claxton, but I don't know. I just
Warriors
don't
didn't
look
have
at
a big. Warriors didn't have a big. They had Looney.
Yeah, but Warriors had a legendary system with players that move off the ball, and they had a bunch of stuff going for them. They had Draymond Green, who was a great system defender.
Yeah.
You know, they had a bunch of stuff going on.
What do the
But
Sixers have? What did the Sixers have?
what do the Sixers have?
Yeah. They have a great system with Doc Rivers.
They got a complete team.
They got a complete team.
Yeah.
I heard Doc Rivers had complete teams in Clippers. Right?
Like not only do they have a complete team, they got the roles that the players are playing in are the best players in the league at those roles, except for the wings. The wings on the Sixers are a little shaky, but they still got adequate wings, but they have the best distributing point guard in the league. Then you got the most dominant center in the league. That's just a recipe for success right there.
Distributing point guard.
Best distributing point guard. He can average more assists than
Just
any
like
point guard.
Draymond. Draymond was the best distributing point guard too when Curry was playing.
What?
Yeah, passing the ball to a great player that's gonna score. Isn't that what Harden is doing?
Well,
why does it sound like y'all trolling each other right now?
I think Harden is a great enough distributor. I've seen him get multiple players involved throughout his whole career. I've seen him get guys who are second string players open shot. Like he's a great facilitator. He's a great feel of the game. He has all that. Like I'm not gonna take that from him. I'm just looking at how he's gonna, implement this in the playoffs. I'm not taking away from how he has a feel for the game. He has one of the most beautiful feels for the game I've seen. But how he's gonna play with Tyrese Maxey when he comes back?
Yeah, that's the question right there too. Because like I don't even know what really Tyrese Maxey's role is. Like I wish Tyrese Maxey was a little taller than what he was. That way he can kind of be really a wing. Because they asking him to be like a wing almost, but he's not. Like he's not tall. Like he's almost like the size of a point guard.
You want him to be like Ben Simmons?
No, you want him to be like a wing. Like
I
Like
get
Ben
what you're
Simmons.
saying though. It's
Bruce,
but
can you
really
say his name?
they really want like that because James Harden's so ball dominant. That it's like, all right, if you got a bigger wing that can work off the ball and it doesn't take away from his usage,
exactly.
he'll flourish.
Yeah. I mean, Tyrese is only 6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah. something like that.
He's shorter than James Harden. James Harden, the point guard. So
Right.
I guess they looking at like how Iverson was a shooting guard for the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they probably doing with Maxey. He's undersized as a 2 shooting guard, but go out there and get buckets, go out there and score, go out there and shoot. That's what they kind of look like they're trying to use Maxey as, but they use AI.
Right, pretty much, yeah. So yeah, I agree with BJ. They got some questions as far as implementing Maxey and how he fits within the team.
Do you think Doc Rivers is the guy for them?
Well, my thing is this with Doc Rivers. Yeah, he do some stupid stuff, but we tend to forget that Doc Rivers won a championship, and that's like more than what 90% of coaches can say.
There's like 10 coaches that could have got that done with that Boston team.
I mean, I have Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, of course I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, you got Embiid, you got Harden. This is you got great players again.
Wait.
Hey, hold on. Got my host, man, my co-host here, Mr. Masters in the building. What's good?
Salute, fellas. Salute. How y'all doing on Christmas Eve?
Salute.
Hey, man. Hey, so I want to go back real quick. Look, I just want to ask, man. I want to ask Bruce, man. What's up with why you don't like Harden, man? I'm just gonna come at you. Why you don't like him?
I mean, you're playing San Antonio without a lot of players, and you still lose. You know, you dribble. Go try to get free throws. You're playing without a team without Kevin Durant, and you lose. You know, you have Golden State, the best team of all time, according to Draymond. You up 3-2, and you're shooting a lot of threes. You are leading by 17 or 10 more plus 10 points in the half, and you
It was
still lose
11.
the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is to like about James Harden? He never delivers.
Okay. Now, from what you said, I can see that. So when you broke that down, I get that angle. But I did want to touch on when you and Bubba were going back and forth, because he made a good point that I was listening to on his side as well. Because all he did in Houston, he just shoot, which of course, he was dropping, but Kobe did make the statement that he had to change his game. When he went to Brooklyn, I did notice he was a nice little distributor. Now I wouldn't classify him as really a true point guard, but he was smooth. So my thing is, I guess what I'm trying to say is, Bruce, in your own eyes, how could you start, I guess, appreciating him? Because my thing is this: he literally changed his game, like he changed it. But it's like you called out some good points, but it's like I'm seeing the evolution of him in a sense. Like I'm watching him. So like, are you still stuck on like what he was doing in the past, and it just like kind of bothers you, or do you not see him trying to evolve, or what is it?
It's not evolution. He got older. You cannot do the same thing anymore. So that's not evolution.
Okay.
It's just getting old, and his way is not attractive. People got tired of Harden. Okay, he's a regular season player, never gonna win a championship. Sorry, Sixers fans, he's never gonna win a championship.
Ouch.
Damn. Well, I don't have nothing else to say.
But Bruce, don't you think it's kind of like the Will Chamberlain thing, when he was also a volume scorer, volume shooter, and when he started getting older and older, he started to, rebound and, trying to take a backseat for guys like Jerry West, guys like Elgin Baylor, and he eventually won a championship. So don't you think if Harden, as he's this distributor that he is, don't you think if he starts distributing and taking a backseat in terms of scoring, he can potentially win a championship?
Never saw Will Chamberlain play, so I don't know, but it's probably true. But Will Chamberlain was a defender. James Harden was never claimed as to be a defender. He was grabbing rebounds and assists. James Harden grabbing rebounds?
Yeah, he grabbed 11 last night. I mean, he's a guard, though.
Last night, last night it's regular season. I'm talking playoff.
I think Bruce, you know what I think it is? I think Bruce, like he said, I think that Spurs game 6 in 2017 still rubs Bruce the wrong way. I think that's what it is. That they didn't have Kawhi playing, and I think that's why that was a nail in the coffin for Bruce.
I mean, the guy has several chance to cement his legacy as one of the best players of all time. I mean, he's best player in regular season, but in the playoff, that's when you make your name. What has James Harden done in the playoff to say, "Oh, I'm so impressed by James Harden"?
Yeah, but that style ain't sustainable in the playoffs. That's the whole point.
You're making the point for me.
No, I'm
Well,
not, because he don't have that style anymore.
I think that's what Rick is saying, though. I think, and Rick, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rick is saying like he's trying to change his game. I think he's trying to make the adjustments, and like he's asking, do you not see that, or you just see the same guy?
I think Bruce and BJ, you're on track. What I'm trying to say, but I think Bruce wants to see that in the playoffs. Like he wants to see that evolution in the play, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm conserving criticism until May.
All right, let me say this though too. I'm gonna use the player's choice, their style. Bruce, who was James Harden playing with in Houston in 2017? What All-Stars was he playing with?
Are you serious? You gonna blame other players for James Harden? Really?
But he wasn't playing with no All-Star though.
Are you serious, man? Come on, man.
I mean, was he playing with any All-Stars? No.
When he was winning those games, didn't he need another All-Star? When he was leading 3-2 against the Warriors, leading by 11 points in halftime.
Yeah, Chris Paul was there, but CP3 was there. But when he got hurt in Game 7, he had no All-Stars to play with, and he was going up against 5 All-Stars. So of course he's gonna lose.
So those 5 All-Stars were not in the first half. They were not there when the Rockets were leading by 11.
They was.
So what happened in the second half? They keep shooting threes. When he was beating the Spurs, did he need All-Stars?
I mean, he won 2 games, but because the Spurs had 3 All-Stars on that team, so eventually he lost.
He played with Dwight Howard, Westbrook, Chris Paul. How many All-Stars does he need?
When in 2017?
Didn't he play with Dwight Howard when Dwight Howard was still
Dwight
good?
was gone in 2017.
Yeah, he was gone. This was James Harden. I'll read it right now. I'm gonna do what the players' choice does. Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, Patrick Beverly, Corey Brewer, Bobby Brown, Clint Capella, Sam Decker, Tyler Ennis, Eric Gordon, James Harden, Montrezl Harrell, Nene, KJ McDaniels, Isaiah Taylor, Lou Williams, Troy Williams, and Kyle Whitler.
No All-Star.
So all these guys are pretty much role players, if you look at it.
Exactly.
So that's why I go back to the point that he's a hell of a facilitator. My whole gripe with James Harden has been that he's just a lazy basketball player. That's been my whole gripe with James Harden. He's lazy as hell. But you can't deny his feel of the game, how he controls the tempo of the game. I'm not a big fan of him manipulating the referees. I'm not a big fan of that, getting 20 free throws and all that. But as far as just balling, and Rick can appreciate this, he sees the game, he sees the floor like in an elite way. He can look at the scoreboard, the stat sheet. Oh, he has 25 points and 10 rebounds and like 8 assists in the third. Like, damn, how do you get all that in 3 quarters? So that's what I take from James Harden, what I appreciate.
My issue is when he doesn't have the ball, he's just standing in the corner. He's not doing any movement, no cutting, nothing.
You just tackle something that. So what would y'all say is his weakness?
Poor movement.
Poor movement. I mean that I think Bruce just said it. He doesn't like how he doesn't move without the ball. Kind of like Curry. Curry moves around, but he's basically
always said. My fault, guys.
No, go ahead.
Nah, because I always said if he added that to his game, along with playing defense, if he developed his off-ball game, there's nothing you can do with James Harden.
But don't you think it was because of the system that he played in? Because if I have to score and facilitate, where will I get the extra energy to play defense at?
Oh, yeah, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry does not facilitate.
Bro, now that I think about it,
Steph doesn't.
Steph does not facilitate.
James Harden used to move without the ball. When he first came to Houston, he did move without the ball. But
also in OKC, his first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he had Kevin McHale, coached by Kevin McHale, he actually moved out the ball. But when he got D'Antoni, that's when he started doing that ISO ball, dribble 1,000 times and just step. Like that's when that trash playing style came in. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But
and I think that's when he was no longer conditioning. Because he didn't have to move anymore. D'Antoni spoiled him.
Right. And he's an underrated defender too. Remember, he used to, with the Thunder, he used to guard Kobe. He used to guard, tough matchups with the Thunder when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just lazy, man. That's my weakness. He's lazy. He can do it, but only when he wants to.
But BJ, if you have to score 30 points and find your teammates as well, how would you find the energy to play deep? Like, bro, it's true. Like, let's look at it from his standpoint.
I wonder, Jordan, Kobe.
Jordan didn't facilitate. Kobe didn't facilitate.
Really? Okay.
No, that's a lie.
That's not. They facilitated, buddy.
Kobe facilitated when?
Hey, okay. Rick, tell him.
What year?
You said what year?
Yeah.
The biggest one to me is when he was playing against them Celtics in 10. He actually evolved and changed his game within that series.
Yeah, that's a huge misconception of Kobe, that he just was a scorer and a defender. No, Kobe did whatever was needed to win. So if he was needed to, if it was needed for him to distribute, he would distribute. If it was needed for him to score, which it was most of the times on most of the teams that he was on, that's what he done.
I mean, okay,
he locked up.
Can I add something to that?
So I'm gonna let you go next. So I was gonna say this real quick though, but then even when in the year, like, cause I'm more so say Kobe was more so facilitator when he was, at least in my eyes, like if we're just focused on facilitating, when he was dragging that team when he was older, pretty much towards his retirement, he was dragging those role players and different players to the playoffs in his older age. Like, you have to facilitate that team.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yo, did you know Kobe would? Even Matt Barnes said this. He on a plane, he would have like sheets of paper and like study where each player is best at catching the ball and like just do all type of crazy stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Like Kobe did like little stuff that you don't, that if you're not a hooper or you're not at that level, you just don't even understand. You think it's just passing the ball and getting assist numbers. No, Kobe was playmaking on a different level. That's why he had 5 rings and went back to back with Pau Gasol as his best player. Meanwhile, the guys who you think are distributors need super teams. So,
LeBron.
I mean, and mind you, when I picked that Kobe, because when he basically, they didn't go to the finals or nothing, but when he was basically about to exit before he got hurt and all that and retired, those last 2 or 3 years in that window, he literally had like almost nobody, and he was still dragging them to, facilitating and helping those guys get into the playoffs before he got hurt and left. So it's like I didn't want to really use the Kobe where he had Shaq and all that, because then that's, you got Shaq who ain't gonna win. But it's like when you take the Kobe where he literally had to take like young guys who are just coming into the league. He's like you said, he's talking to them. He's actually coaching them basically. Like, to me, that's facilitating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's just when he became a little bit more relatable to his guys, because he was at the end of his career. But I think when Shaq first left, his mind was so much fixated on proving that he is that guy and that he can win without Shaq, that
he wanted to do everything, right?
Yeah, it took away from things. Like, but once he kind of realized, like, okay, I can't win like that. I gotta change. I gotta change my game. He kind of took that out.
I think. Okay. So here's the thing. Like, when I watch certain videos with Kobe speaking himself, well, of course, as they say, the horse's mouth. Kobe, and I forgot who he was talking to, but you probably can YouTube it and find it. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. They were asking Kobe, when he was on that 9-game stretch where he's hitting 40 points a night, 40 plus points, and Shaq was hurt. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like somebody already said it, but Kobe really, he has this weird like wrap around him that he just shoots, he just does this. Kobe literally said he would on that 10th game when he's about to break a record, he literally just scored 38 because Phil Jackson came to him and said, "Hey, we got the big fella back. You messing with his pride. And Kobe was like, "What? What you mean? You asked me to basically score more, and that's what I'm doing." He's like, "Yeah, but we got the big fella back, so I'm gonna need you to tone it down." So Kobe being passive aggressive, he hit 38 instead of 40, but it's like he literally will do what he have to do to help his team. It's just that like I said, I feel like the press really didn't like Kobe that much.
They didn't want to give him his flowers.
Yeah, they didn't want to give him his flowers. And my thing is, like somebody said it, but Kobe will do what he has to do to win. But at the same time, it's like Kobe is literally a winner at heart. He's going to do it like literally sitting down with guys, going over tape, training harder than everybody else. Matter of fact, when I watched the Netflix special, when all the players were talking about Kobe, like, man, like Kobe was getting up early and going to the gym, he didn't say nothing to them. He just did it by example, and they start following him. So my whole thing is just looking at Kobe and not really listening to the press. I feel like Kobe facilitated in so many different aspects, but the media don't really shine a light on that.
I have one question for you. Like,
yeah,
you brought up a lot of great points. When you really think about it, do you honestly think Kobe as a facilitator was better than LeBron, in your opinion? Be honest.
I don't like LeBron, but I think LeBron's better. I ain't say that.
No. I'm not saying that just because I don't like LeBron.
I don't like LeBron's antics, like his prima donna mode sometimes. But I would have to go with LeBron. But I love, I gotta be fair. Yeah, I would go with LeBron.
Okay. To answer that original
I was just wondering
because about the facilitating.
Yeah, I was actually
Jordan
that question.
Yeah, Jordan had a spurt, I think, when Phil Jackson had just got there, where he was averaging a 30-point triple-double.
That was 15 games.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, but I don't know why he probably reverted away from that, but he's another one that was capable of doing that same thing. And until you said LeBron just now, I was like, wait, nobody's going to say LeBron, like he did that on a regular, like you passed, you scored, you rebound, and he played defense. I think he wasn't like the greatest on-ball defender, but in transition, you're not going to the rack when he's there.
I have a love-hate with LeBron, because I have a love-hate with LeBron, and a reason why is because LeBron literally has everything in his arsenal to like probably be the greatest. He has everything. But that mentality he had back in, what year was that against the Mavericks? When 2011. I guess I turned it to Bruce in a sense when it comes like how he is with James Harden. That's how I was with him, because it's like, dude, can't nobody stop you. Like body wise, like just athletic, skill wise. This is your moment. Like this is it. Like you got Wade on your left, you got Bosh on your right. Wade somewhat around his prime, Bosh still somewhat in his prime, you in your prime. There's no way you got Dirk out here, and Dirk was snapping on. I got to give Dallas their flowers. They did snap, but I'm just like, dude, I literally felt like Bruce in that moment. I'm like, you have everything that you need, and I don't know what's going on. Like it rubbed me the wrong way. And then when you piss him off, he plays like I want him to play, and I'm like, LeBron, if you play like that, you should have 10 rings. But that's not him. I don't know what, and that kind of rubs me the wrong way, especially a person that loves the game like I do. Because it's like, man, let me be you, LeBron. I'm gonna show you how to play like you. Like there is crazy. Because I mean, just take, even if you just take the knowledge of basketball away from him, just as a physical specimen, who when he come through angry, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna get out the way. And I just feel like it's times in his career where he just it's on. Oh, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna use like a metaphor. LeBron is Superman, and you got all the Justice League people around you, and there's literally a comet about to hit Earth, and Batman, Wonder Woman, everybody's looking at Superman like, fly up there and crash the comet for us. Like, you're Superman. No, I'm gonna be Clark Kent. What the LeBron? Like, that's how he makes me. That's how he makes me feel.
That was a good one.
That's how he makes me feel. That's why I said I have a love-hate. That's why when he posed the question, who you think's better at facilitating, that's why I grit my teeth, because I can't lie. I'm like, well, duh, LeBron's a better but I don't want to say it because he doesn't do it when I need him to do it.
Yeah.
Bro, if you take Jordan and Kobe's mind and put in LeBron's body, you got the best player of all time.
Not even
The
question.
greatest player of all time right there.
LeBron can be Superman. He needs a machine to be great. So he's Iron Man. He needs the right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna add into my criticism against LeBron. This is why I say I have a love-hate, because LeBron was at 05 or 7. I think it was 07. When he literally dragged that team to the finals. And I think he was only 22 years old. He dragged that team. Now, I knew he was going to get his ass whooped. I already knew that, but I didn't care. I was like, dude, cause you can't beat 5 people, especially no damn Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and them back when they were younger. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, but
it was, but watching, even though he lost, I mean, I was still amazed. I'm like, man, I was actually excited for LeBron at that time.
Yeah,
but then moving forward, it's like he had moments in his career where it was like, I don't want to be Superman today. I'm just going to say Clark Kent. And that's what irritates me about him.
He's Iron Man, man. He needs a machine.
Like, he doesn't want the pressure. He doesn't want that challenge.
And what happened to Iron Man?
He was already given the keys to the kingdom by that time. So it's like, yeah, I don't have to be that guy because I'm already the best in the world.
And people underrate that. People underrate that Cavs team too.
And that Cavs team was better than what people thought. Like, I think
Really?
No, yeah, because if you really think about it, like, especially in 09 and 2010, like, didn't they have like 66 wins, and like they had like a good roster around.
It was 07, it's 2 different teams.
Yeah, they were still good. They had one of the best big men in Cavalier history in Zydrunas Ilgauskas. They had All-Star Mo Williams. There wasn't like a championship caliber team. I mean, there wasn't like a dynasty or some.
But they were at least solid.
Yeah, it was solid.
They were competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But then also when they got to the finals, they actually played well in the finals. It's just LeBron James didn't play well.
He didn't show up.
Clark Kent. That's my point. Clark Kent.
And you go back to those games, bro. Like, those weren't blowout games.
Yeah, they were close.
They were close. So, okay, you got swept, but the games were in reach. How much can you really put on the team and not put on LeBron for not? I mean, he's 22, but to sit there and say like they're not a great team, they weren't a competitive team. It's just 66 wins, and you're in contention all 4 of those games, bro. You have to be somewhat competitive.
Exactly.
And let me add to what I'm like. Okay, when I say, he had Verjao, Zoskis, Gibson. When I say he didn't have players, I'm comparing them to the Spurs, like players like that. Yeah. It's like if he had a Wade and a Bosh in their prime, I'm thinking it'd be a better game. But back then, and him being 22, because we're not talking about the seasoned LeBron, we're talking about a young LeBron. So it's like I'm literally now, and I'm gonna tell you another series where I was actually impressed, but he lost. But I was still impressed when Kyrie went down, and when Love went down, and then he had that little white dude. I forgot his name. He was the point guard.
And he was talking about Dellavedova.
and that was the year they were thinking about giving him the MVP, even though the Finals MVP, even though he lost. I mean, I was impressed with. I was like, man, LeBron, like he kicked, like his players went down and he turned and he had to take his, Clark Kent suit off. I'm like, LeBron, why didn't you do this against, the Mavs? Why didn't you do this against the Spurs? Why? Like, that's what gets me with him. It's like, why do you pick and choose?
Against JJ Barea.
I think it's
man, JJ Barea and Jason Terry were having barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just the whole thing we talk about a lot, Rick. Is just the killer in him, bro. It's just not who he is. We've been trying to pull it out of him. How long we've been trying to pull that out of him consistently?
20 years.
For years. It's like I just got to the point. I'm like, bro, he's not Mike and he's not Kobe. That's not who he is. Not his personality. That's not his demeanor. He's not gonna continuously go at you no matter what. Like he's gonna make the play. He's gonna give it. Like that's what he's gonna do. Jordan and Kobe gonna be like, give me the ball and I'm gonna do it hella high water myself. That's not who Bron is. So
it's like when I look at Jordan, BJ, it's like Jordan was one of them dudes where it was like, yo, what do we need to do to fix this job? Oh man, we gonna need a hammer, some nails, but we ain't got it, and he just create them like that, like the mentality that and like you said, maybe that's not LeBron, but I guess it's irritating to me because it's very emotional based because it's like LeBron. Not too many people are built like you and have the dexterity and the coordination. Like you play like you're 2 feet tall, but you're 6'9", 6'10". Like how many men just in general can be built like that and just be that agile, that strong, and you just play with it. And with the basketball fundamentals that's why I said it's a love-hate. I really respect LeBron. I just don't like the mentality, but as a basketball player, I respect him. Never talk bad on him, but I just can't stand the fact that he literally kind of left a lot on the table.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a perfect way. Like you see it more than he sees it in himself almost. Like you see the promise and you see what he's able to do. It's just if he had that extra, bro, you go to 10 finals, you win 4 of them, bro. Put Kobe and Jordan in those situations. How many finals do you think they win out those 10 finals?
Well, according to what we see, it looked like Jordan 100% and Kobe half, at least half.
Man,
5 out of 7 for Kobe and then 6 out of 6 for Jordan. So just based off their real life ratings, I'm gonna go what they did.
Half. That's more than half with Kobe.
So I mean, I'm just so I mean, that's why I say it the way I say it. It's a love-hate, man.
For real.
Go ahead.
Yeah, does Kobe get to the finals with the 2018 Cavs?
Who was on the 2018 Cavs team?
Kevin.
I mean,
Love,
he had
Smith,
Kevin,
George,
but Kyrie and Love got hurt though, right?
No, 2018 Kyrie was not there.
That was when he was in Boston. That's when he went to Boston.
Right. Okay.
Were you saying in the East?
Yeah, in the East, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
The 2009, 2010 version of Kobe?
Any version of Kobe.
Of course.
Kobe beat.
Do you know the teams that Kobe had to go through to get to the finals?
And that's why it trips me out with.
But he had a Hall of Famer though. The Cavs, there's no Hall of Famer on that team.
Who Hall of Famer he had? Derek Fisher?
Wait, Pau Gasol not a Hall of Famer?
No. Hey, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Hold on, can I add something? I'm glad you brought that up also.
It's Kyrie. What do you mean?
Can I
go ahead?
Okay. Pau Gasol, well, before he got with Kobe, he was leading his team to the playoffs, but like he didn't win a single playoff game. Like if they hadn't made a move to get Pau Gasol, like I don't think, and that's one thing I do agree. I forgot who it was. That's one thing I do agree with someone who mentioned that in the player's choice. If Pau Gasol never went with Kobe, like we wouldn't really be talking about Pau Gasol as we are, because like let's be honest, Pau Gasol all had a reputation of being soft before he got with Kobe.
Do you remember that first year the Lakers played the Celtics in the finals?
Yeah, exactly.
Ran
Good
through.
example.
Yeah, he got destroyed by Kevin. Yeah.
KG and then freaking Kendrick Perkins just bullied Pau Gasol.
And then I remember this podcast, All the Smoke, that Paul Pierce went on the podcast and was just like, the next time they faced him in 2010, Pau Gasol was a different player, and he said Kobe toughened him up.
Exactly.
So he doesn't get that credit. Because see, with the LeBron, this is why I get annoyed with the LeBron heads, and that's what on the player's choice. They look at numbers, but they can only see it from numbers analytical base, but they can't see it from an actual eye test and what
From
they
a player's
do.
view.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't see it. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important that you got a guy like Pau Gasol. You were able to elevate his game up to become what he was, but they don't look at it like that.
They just look at the numbers, and I'm like, bro, you can't, like, those numbers don't mean anything if you don't explain the substance that went with it. It like yeah, Pau Gasol, yeah, like, of course, Kobe. Like, one thing that bugs me is when people say, oh, Kobe had a bad game 7 against the Celtics. Well, okay, yeah, Kobe, it was a tough shooting night for every player, but what else did Kobe do to impact the game? Like, nobody talks about how Kobe got 15 rebounds in that finals and completely shut down Ray Allen, like,
to 2 to 15 shooting.
2 to 15, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, you have to look, like, that was a good point. Like, you have to look at the actual. You actually have to watch the game in order to get at the better perspective. You can't just go off the numbers and stuff. Like, that's why, like, I can't take a lot of these dudes, especially that one dude Mars, seriously.
Mars, right?
You can tell Mars never
watching
played anything like table tennis.
Yeah, he started watching basketball like 2017.
Hey,
and
guys,
he starts
what did
talking
you think about when Mars said that James Harden was better than AI?
No. This is what got me. He said Russell Westbrook's better than John Stockton.
Oh, hell no. No.
I said
he does not know what he's talking about.
Crazy deals.
You said table tennis.
Yeah, no, that's why I said dudes like Mars, like, they good at breaking down the numbers and they good at, pointing out the history of basketball and stuff like that. But it's just certain things, like, it's just the way that they look at basketball is not the way that a person who actually plays basketball looks at it.
Yeah,
like, it's certain things you actually have to play the game to realize.
Numbers don't always tell a story.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to answer your question about the Cavs, Kobe and the Cavs. If Kobe did what he did with Pau Gasol, what do you think he does with Kevin Love?
Great point.
Mind you, this is Kevin Love. I mean, he's not doing what he was doing in Minnesota because obviously he had to adjust his game to LeBron. But I'm pretty sure we'll see that old Kevin Love could get 20 and 20,
exactly,
and be bullying people down low again.
Mm-hmm.
When you remember when Westbrook went to the Lakers, it was like, oh, Westbrook still putting up the same numbers. He's still doing what he's been doing. It's just that when you got LeBron around you, it's a whole different atmosphere.
And
what sucks is LeBron's Superman. But when he wants to be Clark Kent, then it's everybody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you brought that point. It's just like when you compare LeBron to other superstars, like, let's say Kobe, Durant, Kawhi, Jordan, those other superstars, like, they're not going to take away the other guys around them. They're not going to take away their talents. Like, they're still going to do. They're going to those superstars, they're going to do what they have to do to win. They're not going to really take away their talent. But like when it comes to LeBron, like he's so ball dominant. Like a Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, for example, like they used to bang down low, but when they got with LeBron, they completely had to change their game. Like Kevin Love turned into a spot up shooter and stuff like that. Like I feel like with Kobe, he could definitely bring out like a more dominant version of Kevin Love.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that Golden State still wins, but at least Kobe gets me a game or two. I don't think he gets swept.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Kobe is going to get. I don't think Kobe is going to get swept. I think, like, if anything, it goes at least 6 or possibly 7 games.
7 games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But all right, man. Last thoughts, man, before we close it down.
As always, Ty Lue, tighten up. Get it together.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I feel like he did a better job last year than he's doing this year without any of his stars.
That's a shame, bro. Like, you would think we got all of our full squad back. You would think that it would be easier for him to coach, but I guess he's struggling to try to find minutes for everybody.
Yeah.
Rick is like what you said about LeBron. Ty Lue was Superman last year. This year he's Clark Kent again.
that brother Aquaman. I don't know what's going on. You know what? I'm only holding back because I do have respect. I do like Ty Lue, but he is tripping right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Man, I think Ty Lue just trying to acclimate all his players, and the Clippers gonna be up and down all season. But I think eventually, once the playoffs start, they're gonna turn up. So y'all expecting them to go on these, 10-game winning streaks and beat everybody? That's not gonna happen. They're gonna beat some good teams and they're gonna lose to some good teams. They're gonna be up and down. But I think when it comes close to the playoff time, they're gonna really ramp it up.
Yeah, you better get it together quick because I'll be damned if we lose this because of him. So we better get his shit together quick. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Look, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all y'all and y'all family.
Happy
BJ, keep doing
holidays,
your
man.
thing, boy.
All right, Kiss, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm out of here too, man. Salute BJ, salute to everybody on the panel.
My man,
Salute
Dom.
everyone.
Big dog. Salute.
All right.
Bruce, son. Anybody else got something to say?
No, that's
I'm
all I have
good,
to
man.
say. Salute everyone. Happy holidays, man.
All right, so
Happy holidays.
All right, James Harden will never win. Happy holidays.
God, they crazy, bro.
Man. Yeah, you gotta love Bruce, man.
Yeah, this is a great live, man. I know we tomorrow's Sunday, so we all gonna be our families, man. But we got something else you want to add on, bro, before we end the show?
No, man, that was. I'm glad I kind of came in when I did, man. That was a good little wrap up session. I like that. That was good.
For sure, man. We're gonna get also again New Year's coming, man. So we got some new stuff coming for y'all, man. New shirts are out. I'm gonna be posting that up so y'all can start seeing what we got. But Rick, let's go ahead and let you close the show out, man, since you're already here.
Hey, man, y'all already know who it is. It's your co-host that does it the most. Your boy Rick Masters at Rick Masters 23. Mr. Lee on Instagram, Rick Masters on every other social media platform. And hey, you already know the Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts. We got the red, we got the black, we got the white, we got the long sleeves, we got the cutoff tanks, we got the hoodies, the sweaters, man. Look, man, me and BJ trying to bring these products to you. So go ahead, support The ticker down below, $ BJ Matthews. If you want to contribute to the show so we can make it greater for you guys and bring better content, go ahead and supply. Also, we're affiliated with YouTube, and we want to give much thanks to everybody that's been here since the beginning and also the people that's jumping on. But BJ, I'm going to throw the assist back to you.
Like my boy said, man, go ahead and go into our, our Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, our YouTube page. We have the opening chat where you can also donate that way. And also continue to like, share, and subscribe all of our videos. Man, we'll be starting back up again next Sunday. We're going into the new year. And we respectfully say with a smile on our face, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull it out. Peace. Out of here like swim. Wow.